Hi everybody, in this video I want to work out the cross products involving our unit vectors x hat, y hat, and z hat. So we'll set up a coordinate system. I've got x to the right, I've got y to the top of the board, I've got z coming out of the board. That's a right-handed coordinate system. Alright, so let's start by looking at cross products such as x hat cross x hat, y hat cross y hat, and z hat cross z hat. So we'll start with x hat cross x hat. All right, so first, before we consider the direction, let's consider the magnitude. The magnitude, x hat cross x hat. Well, I would have magnitude of the first vector, magnitude of the second vector, and the sine of the angle between them. Now, the sine of the angle between x hat and x hat is 0. So I've got the sine of 0, that gives me 0. So the magnitude of this cross product, this is the cross product, this is the magnitude of this cross product, is 0. If the magnitude is 0, the cross product is 0. If you take the cross product of any vector with itself, it will give you 0 because of the sine of 0 degrees being 0. All right, so y hat cross y hat is also 0. Z hat cross z hat is also 0. You can take those to the bank. All right, so now let's look at the cross products involving different unit vectors. Let's start with x hat cross y hat. First, let's get the direction of that. To get the direction of the cross product, put your fingers of your right hand in the direction of the first vector in the cross product. Curl them into the direction of the vector, the second vector in the cross product. So curl your fingers from this to this. Curl from x to y. Gives me out. That's the z hat direction. So I know that the direction of this, at least, is the z hat direction. Now let's work out the magnitude. The magnitude of x hat cross y hat, which we write this way. Well, now how you implement the magnitude, you take the magnitude of the first vector, then take the magnitude of the second vector, and then take the sine of the angle between those two vectors. Well, the magnitude of any unit vector is 1, so we've got magnitude of this is 1, magnitude of y hat is 1. There's a 90-degree angle between the x hat and y hat directions. That's the angle that goes in this formula, sine of 90 degrees. Sine of 90 degrees is 1. So the magnitude of this cross product, this is the magnitude of this cross product. That magnitude is 1. We already worked out the direction, z direction. Magnitude 1 in the z direction is just the z hat unit vector. All right, so in all these that follow, we're always going to have a magnitude of 1. We'll just work out the direction using the right-hand rule. All right, so now y hat cross z hat. Curl your fingers from the y hat direction of your right hand toward the z hat direction. That gives you something in the x direction. So that's x hat. Z hat cross x hat. Let's see. Z hat cross x hat gives me y hat. Hey, let's turn that around. Let's go x hat cross z hat. Let's see. Yes. X hat cross z hat gives me minus y hat. Now note, let's just take a look at that. Z hat cross x hat gives me y hat. X hat cross z hat gives me minus y hat. Switching the order of these has introduced a minus sign. You can take that to the bank as well. That's a general thing about cross products. A cross B is equal to the negative of B cross A. Take that one to the bank. All right, let's work out z hat cross y hat. Z hat cross y hat gives me minus x hat. We can check that up here. Y hat cross z hat gave me x hat. Z hat cross y hat gives me minus x hat. That works out. Let's work this one out. Y hat cross x hat. Y hat cross x hat gives me minus z hat. Better hat this one as well. And let's look at that. Y hat cross x hat gives me minus z hat. Compare that up here. X hat cross y hat gave me positive z hat. So I've got the pairs that are opposites of each other denoted with these little blue, black, and red braces. All right, so you should go and work through these all yourself. write yourself down a right-handed coordinate system. Make sure it's a right-handed coordinate system. X, Y, Z. It has to have that orientation. Or alternately, now that we know the cross products, a right-handed coordinate system is defined by this. If you correctly do the right-hand rule, X hat cross Y hat, your thumb's got to be in the direction of Z hat. So make sure you write your coordinate system down consistent with this. Then try working them all out yourself. You should get these, then compare that they all obey this rule. Do that 2 or 3 times in the next couple of days, and then you should know these up to a point that you'll never forget them. All right, so hopefully that helps with the cross products of our Cartesian unit vectors, x hat, y hat, and z hat. Thanks for watching.